dis Marianah Lourens met Kuns en Vermaak, art and entertainment with Marianah Lourens. And once again, I'm here in the green room, in the little theatre, in the Athenaeum. And I have got some amazing guests with me. And we've been laughing a lot until now. And I hope we're going to keep laughing forever. I have with me Gerald Pietresen from Agape Coffee Shop. And we go back a few years because we met through Toastmasters, which we used to have there. And then we've been to your shop again and again and again because it's an amazing coffee shop. And you can go there and it opens, at 12 o'clock and closes?
At 9 o'clock.
Oh, 9 o'clock in the morning. And then it only closes at 5, so you don't have to leave at 3 like some of the others where you go. So welcome, Gerald.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here all the way from Kariga.
Welcome in Kaberga.
Thank you.
I've got Zepplin with me, and this is Zepplin Adams. And Zepplin, you are connected to Agape Coffee Shop because you've been making coffee there too. I know it.
Yes.
But also, your big thing is that you're a techie. So you're a sound engineer, and that's why you're here actually today. You're a sound engineer, and that's why you're here. I'm a poet, and I know it. I always tell them I'll make a rhyme every time. So let's talk about Chester Missing, who's coming to Agape Coffee Shop.
Good morning, Marianne and all the listeners. On the 5th of June, we'll have Chester Missing with Conrad at the shop again, and it will be the second time that they'll be there. He always brings us some good laughs, and this next show that's coming up now on the 5th of June is called Nice Races.
So we are looking.
It's very appropriate, yeah, and very controversial at times, but he brings points and he speaks about things that we don't really want to speak about, we don't really want to touch on. But it brings it through in a nice, funny way, humorous way. And then we can just all laugh about all the things that are happening in South Africa and in the politics and all of that.
Yeah, because the whole thing is that Chester is saying it. It's not Conrad.
Yes, yes.
I mean, he's got a bit demanding sometimes.
So if I just have to jump in there, I found it very weird the last time I was there last year, 4th of October. I don't know, when you ask your question, should you just respond to a puppet or should you speak to Conrad? And it's so weird. And you sit there and you listen and you get carried away by the puppet. So I tell you, it's definitely something to enjoy.
Because it's like a trick. It's tricking your mind.
Yes, it's so crazy because at times Chester will be looking at you and Conrad will be looking the other way and you're thinking, is this guy watching me? Is he looking at me? It's just kind of awkward, but you get so carried away and afterwards you start speaking to the puppet and you forget Conrad is there and you're like, oh yeah, this guy is actually just a puppet.
Yeah, and of course, as we say, it's very topical, nice races because for the past month in our country, it's been a thick year with racism.
Sure.
Calling names and doing stuff.
So what I enjoy with Conrad and Chester is that even on their Facebook social media, the relevance and the practicality of what they're speaking about. And interesting enough, and I believe so with a lot of comedians, is that they bring current affairs to your attention. So there's certain elements that he would speak about, which the general public won't really know about unless you do a bit of research. And I think that's what we've also discovered in the last event that took place at Agape Coffee Shop.
And you've done your research since then?
Absolutely. So
I
just think, what happens is when he throws you with those awkward questions and your partner sitting next to you where you would just randomly ask if it's your sister or your younger daughter. So but that's part of signing up for things like that. It makes it a lot of fun. It keeps it incredibly engaging. And what I absolutely love about him is that his attention to detail, the fact that he remembers names, he picks up quickly. And that's, to be witty is a true skill.
He's so sharp, He's so sharp.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is with these ventriloquists that I admire them because you cannot see where the sound is coming from. You cannot see it. He's talking, but he's just standing there like this with his mouth closed. But actually he's talking through Chester.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen on the 4th, on the 5th. I'm already by my announcement, but there'll be one on the 4th
as well,
at the Marine here in Kaberga. at 5th Avenue, and that's all I'm saying. So you can go to Quicket for your ticket.
And that rhymes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
But what I want to ask you, Gerald, now you've been going at Agape for how long?
The coffee shop has been running now for the last 4 years. The reason why Zepplin is there and very active at the coffee shop also is that he coordinates and organizes all the events that takes place at the coffee shop. So over and above him just having his own sound engineering company, he basically engages with the artists. Like now, as we said earlier, with Big Mouth Entertainment, he's the liaison with them. So he basically runs all of that. And I think the blessing through the whole COVID period is that we own the property. So it just made operations a little bit easier. You know, instead of like a lot of other businesses did, closed down and, stopped operations. So we were really blessed in that perspective that the tradition of coffee is still going on strong in Athenaeum.
Absolutely, because you've got the contests as well, the coffee.
So there's one coming up which we cannot speak about now because it's not really released, but later this year.
But watch the space.
Watch the space. Hopefully watch this radio station as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot that's still
combine it with some
happening.
entertainment and then we talk about it.
We will not speak about that too much because you're touching on the right points.
Yeah.
But then we will talk about it
Yes,
as soon as we've got
Yeah.
all the details.
Perfect.
Yeah, then we'll chat about that.
Definitely.
But now this whole coffee, what do you call it? Barista effort,
Yeah.
adventure. You've been going and running with that.
That's correct. So yeah, no, on a personal level, I've been involved in competitions both locally and nationally, and the barista competition. And I think we always try to promote coffee in that regard. We also at Agape Coffee Shop with Zepplin and Boo, we basically going to run training in the next few weeks where we train our people as baristas and give them an opportunity to also then work at the shop. If they fit in with the culture of the organization, then they have the opportunity to work there for a longer period. And obviously, if they want to go practice the skills elsewhere.
Yes, because it's a good internship.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's a good internship for them. Now, to get to you, Zepplin, of course, immediately when I saw your name, my mind went back to when I was young. And that's many moons, like 50 years ago. And Led Zeppelin was the talk of music, and it was sometimes dark music.
Yeah.
But when I then saw your poster on your Facebook when I went, because I stalk all the people I chat to, I want to tell you that.
Yeah.
By now you know that.
That's okay. That's why we put things out there.
Yes. And then I saw his poster is LET, L-E-T, Zepplin. And how clever is that to let Zepplin do your sound engineering job? Let him be your techie. Because without the technicians, we're nowhere. I mean, even Chester won't have a voice without the techies. So we need our techies.
Yes.
So how did you get into sound engineering?
From a very young age, I grew up in church, first of all. I grew up in church. And from a very young age, I had a huge interest in music. And I started on the piano, started playing keyboard. Well, every time in church when the song would start, the piano player would start with the song, I would get excited. I would dance, and believe me, I have no rhythm. I would be standing in front of the church. I remember I was very young, not bothered by anyone.
The music was your turn on.
The music, yes. The music was the thing that really turned on. I could switch off. I couldn't care less what anyone was thinking about me. And then we moved to another church, and the interest was still there. And I was like, okay, cool. Now I have an opportunity for this guy to teach me, because the way he plays the song is like, it sounds like exactly what it sounds like on a CD. And I'm like, yo, I was so amazed by it. I went to him, I spoke to him, I told him, dude, I would love to learn how to play the keyboard. Would you be able to teach me? And that's how I ended up in the media team. And I was basically doing the projections, the lyrics of the church and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then I don't know when it started, but I started figuring out, you know what, this keyboard thing is not for me. You know, this rhythm is becoming a bit of a problem, you know, keeping the timing and all of that. And I later somewhat transitioned to sound, but I never got the opportunity to do sound in church because I had to focus on the words, had to make sure all the songs are there, all the videos are there that needs to be played. And
that was your job.
Yes. And I was thrown in the deep.
But it was a good training ground
it was
for you.
A really good training ground. Eventually, I started doing sound here and there, started doing more research and actually doing the work. One friend of mine, he gave me my first gig. And after that, that was just lift off for me. Things just started picking up, my interest grew. There isn't a day that I don't think about sound.
Okay, and now it is let Zepplin do your sound.
So,
and I don't know if you remember when you were small, did you have to put the piece of paper on the thing and then it throws onto the screen?
Overhead projections. Yes,
projections.
Yes,
That's what you had to do.
No. By the time
he's not that old.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's a little bit young because he talked about projections, and I thought, what is he talking
Digital
about?
age.
Digital. So by the time I joined the media team, we were ready with overhead projectors.
You graduated.
Data projector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of the overhead, we had data projectors.
Because every church had that overhead projection, that thing that you had to change, and somebody had to do it.
And the page was always skew. I know that was never straight. The letters were never straight.
And you want to go and help them straighten it. I know. You absolutely everything's got to be right?
Yes.
Led Zepplin. But now you are at Agape. You are getting gigs. You are busy. Are you looking to play any instrument at all ever?
Not as a musician, no. But for studio work, I do want to sharpen up my skills on the keyboard and just general music knowledge, because I do believe that is essential when it comes to mixing and mastering music. You can't mix a song to the best of your ability. Oh, you can only mix a song to the best of your ability. And if
your ability increases, you want to brush up on that, and then as much, and that's a good thing, because you know how many people I know who got guitars or they learned piano and it wasn't the instrument for them, and then they discovered they love the violin, and they become a master on the violin, which is the most difficult instrument as far as I'm concerned. And that's how it happens. But the more you know, the more you're able to help others, and it's always also about helping others and empowering. Gerald,
that's true.
Now at Agape, I know you've had lots of shows, you've had conferences, you've got lots. You've had lots of stuff. But the shows that you've had there have all been well supported.
Yes.
And it's so easy to find because it is in
the main street, 32 Caledon Street.
32 Caledon Street. Yeah. So you can't miss it because it's the big road that goes right through Kariga, Uitenaeg. But are they going to change the name of Uitenaeg Road? I'm just thinking.
That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
We'll have to find out.
Possibly.
Very good question. Kariga Road.
Yeah, they'll have to change it to Kariga Road. Yeah. But Caledon Road is a big road. And the shows that you've had, as I say, were well supported. Now, what's happening now with Chester coming, and everybody's excited because you say you had one before?
Yes, so he's been there before, and I think there's a much greater uptake now, also because we've transitioned from the limits that you can allow in a particular space with regards to the COVID regulations to where we are now. And secondly, I think also we rely a lot on social media in terms of getting the advertising out there. But the more platforms you can explore, the more people become aware and the more support you will gain through that process. And what I've realized over the last 2 weeks, just by talking about the event on the 5th of June, my work colleagues are now saying they cannot miss out. So they haven't even seen it on social media and it's been advertised there. So I believe that if we use those type of platforms as well, and I think we didn't speak on radio the last time, so it would be amazing to get the Bay FM audience also to come and support the initiative in Kariga. I know there's one taking place in PE in Marine Drive, but we want them at the best coffee shop in Uitenaeg.
Absolutely, because it is the event place. And I mean, we've got one here. That's also famous, and it's bringing all the artists. And I'm not going to mention him because he gets enough mention. But in Kariga, or if you're not there yet, Uitenaeg, in a Caledon Road, and it's actually, you can actually see it from when you come from the PE side. When you come, you can't miss it. It's on your right. It's just across the road. So you have to cross the road and be careful when you do that. But yes, it's 32 Caledon Road, so be there. And what time is it going to be? Probably early evening?
Around 4 p.m. So usually we do it late afternoon, so around 4 p.m. It's 4 till 5:30 on Sunday, the 5th of June.
Okay, it's a Sunday, it's the 5th of June. It is 4 o'clock, but be there by 3 and have
coffee, audio meals, have your second coffee.
Have your second coffee, but also there's some lekker stuff to eat there. I know I've been there lots of times. It's very good. Yes, what do you want to say?
Just before people show up for the coffee, please make sure that you do buy your ticket from Quicket. At 145
tickets?
Yeah.
From Quicket.
Tickets are at Quicket. And I want to ask you, Gerald, if they want to get hold of you for Agape Coffee Shop. It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook, yeah. So our social media platforms is on Facebook, Agape Coffee Shop. It's also on Instagram, Agape Coffee Shop. And if you Google coffee shops in Utenek, we would pop up on Google Business as well. So those are the 3 predominant platforms that we're using. And also there's a link on Facebook that if you click WhatsApp, you'd be able to get through to the WhatsApp to either Zepplin or someone else in that regard.
Good.
And then I also want to just use this opportunity to say, please follow us on Facebook. There's a lot of events that we would advertise on Facebook because we don't always have an opportunity to come to advertise on radio or speak about this on radio. So it would be amazing if people just click like for Agape Coffee Shop and remain connected.
Yes, remain connected to Agape Coffee Shop through Instagram and Facebook. And let Zepplin do your sound. How do they get hold of you?
So they can get hold of me via Facebook as well. Late Zepplin. It's also linked to my WhatsApp. So currently I'm just on Facebook at the moment, but people can reach me.
That's fine because that's where the grannies find you. I can promise you. And Zepplin is without the proverbial E that's traditionally in the name. Yeah. It's Zepplin. That is the first name you were given as you were christened by that name, but you then became Let. L-E-T. And that's on Facebook. But also if you look at Zepplin Adams, you also find you on Facebook.
Yes.
Because I know I found you there. So thank you so much for coming. I can't actually wait. It's going to be wonderful. The 5th of June, Sunday. I'm going to be there at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, so skip out on the one that's taking place on the 4th of June because that is here in Quebec.
I won't tell them you said that. The one that's...
Come love us in Utenek. So yeah, both these events are taking place that weekend. 4th of June at the Marine, corner of Marine Drive and 5th Avenue in Quebec. And then the Sunday is the 5th of June. Agape Coffee Shop. So even if you go to the one at the Marine Hotel and there's a joke you didn't catch, come the Sunday.
Go.
That's the beauty
and
of it.
And even if you caught all the jokes, there may be some new ones.
Yes.
Because Conrad is very good. He thinks on his feet.
Yes.
And he just makes
Conrad
new
or
stuff.
Chester? Who thinks on...
Well,
I think Chester thinks on his bum.
Yeah.
I think so. And look, Conrad's just got to take it on the chin.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Our time is now really up. It's been so nice having you, and I'm looking forward to the 5th to Nice Racists by Chester Missing. Ooh, can't wait. At the Agape Coffee Shop. And now it's time for me, Marianah Lourens, and Art and Entertainment to say goodbye. Ja, Kuns en Vermaak, Marianah wat nou groet met Arrivari.